Energy pulsing through me. Energy pulsing, pulsing through. Energy pulsing through me.
Hi, this is David Anderson. I'm a networking online watchman, and I appreciate you coming on in to learn a little bit more about me. I've invited you in to hear my story. I'm going to go ahead and actually tell it to you myself. So let's see how this thing works out here. I'm trying some new technologies. All right. So the early years. I was raised by a single mother, oldest of three. My mother was married 3 times before I was 18 years old. Early in my childhood, we moved often, putting me in several different schools in multiple states, sometimes in the same school year. Despite those challenges, I thrived. This taught me how to adapt to new situations and people rather quickly. By the time junior high came around, we had moved to a single community where I started making lasting relationships and establishing my first defining moment. I was still the new kid in town and very shy, trying to be invisible, as everyone was gathering in the lobby of our school one morning, waiting for classes to start. A bully came up to me. I was only 12, and he got toe-to-toe. He was staring me down, felt like for minutes. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he punched me squarely in the stomach. I sucked it up, and I gave him zero response. I continued to look at him in the eyes, and we didn't say a word until finally he broke the silence, all frustrated, and said, "Whatever, you're not worth it." He walked away and never confronted me again in the remaining 6 years of school together. So clearly I had won the battle and the war, and I knew from that point on that I had a quiet strength within me, and I've tapped into it ever since, very often. I spent a few years in Boy Scouts and learned a lot of life and leadership skills. I earned my way through summer camp, each year by going door to door and selling stuff out of a cardboard box. I learned the value of hard work and entrepreneurialism. I was well on my way to Eagle Scout when I walked away from it so too soon because I thought I was too cool. Through high school, I started working full-time in the late summer and fall at a local farm. From that time on, I worked around my school schedule and jobs, and I was accepted into a program in both my junior and senior years called Upward Bound. It took place on the campus of Bowdoin College. It was designed for low-income students with college potential. My second defining moment. That opportunity changed me on many levels. This experience grew me socially, educationally, emotionally, and relationally. From someone with a very low self-esteem, I realized through this experience that I rated intellectually in the top 5% nationally, let alone locally. So my confidence began to grow as I embraced the fact that I had much to offer. The program was designed to simulate college life. I used what I learned there to apply for and to pay my own way through college, and it secured a BFA. At 17, I went to college for a year at YOUniversity in New Orleans, having been accepted as an engineering major. It was at Tulane, far away from friends and family that loved me, that I really advanced a newfound interest in drinking. Daily drinking and damaging relationships in my life became the new normal. I had become an alcoholic. I decided to change my major to fine arts and headed back to New England. I've always had a passion and a talent for drawing portraits. During those early college years, I struggled with drinking, and through more than I can get into here, I found my way to a relationship with God. And the long and the short of it are that since my first prayer, I've been alcohol-free for over 34 years now. And I was led to my wife, Robin, who over the same amount of time that we've had together, we've had 4 kids, and we have grandkids on the rise. My third defining moment. After becoming a Christian and beginning to date Robin, I realized that I never really had a stable, a durable, decent role model when it came to manhood. I decided that Jesus was the perfect man, son, leader, and the perfect model of fatherhood. I determined that I will take my cues from his words and his life. It made me into the man that I am today, and I've never regretted that decision. Soon after becoming a Christian, I started writing songs. I made a covenant with God. I sat on my bed with my guitar and I said, "You are the source of all wisdom, beauty, knowledge, and melody. If you continue to give me songs, I will continue to give them to you." My songs became a living journal, sharing my point of view and issues on my heart. After about 400 songs, I am still playing and still writing them. My fourth defining moment. Robin and I got married in our early 20s. One of my uncles gave us an Amway startup kit for a present. Next thing we know, we are newlyweds and Amway distributors. We stayed with that business for the next 5 years. The time with that business laid an amazing foundation of leadership and business development. I read dozens of motivational books and listened to countless hours of. We attended training events across the country, achieved a respectable level of success, and got a taste for the American dream. We learned the power of leveraging efforts and resources and the power of residual income. We also learned about the strength and significance of learning from and leading with systems. They lend themselves to simplicity and duplication. As a young Christian man with a desire to grow, serve, and lead, I became a leader in Promise Keepers in our state prison ministry. During this time, my entrepreneurial spirit flowed into the church as well. I built whole ministries from scratch, both inside and outside of the church walls. These include, but are not limited to, a puppet ministry, a branded men's ministry called Momentum, training events called STEAM, and a para-church ministry for the homeless and drug addicted called Straight Street Outreach. My music ultimately brought me to a place where I had a band and a name and a CD. We were called Red Gone White. All these extra activities grew within me a desire and a need to learn more about promotion, social media, the internet, and branding. I started to educate myself regularly with specialty courses, online communities, and through actually promoting and branding my ministry projects and my personal endeavors. My fifth defining moment. One of my bandmates announced that we were going to have a website. And a switch went off, and I became obsessed with grabbing all of the social media real estate that I could around our very unique band name. So while my buddy built the initial layout of the site, I became quickly and thoroughly familiar with the world of social media. I set us up with a multitude of platforms, linking everything to the main website and vice versa. Because of that experience, I became fascinated with the idea of promoting and connecting online. More and more of my time went into developing my personal brand. Later, I built a fully functional website for our street ministry, as well as redesigned and took over the band website. Strong skills in WordPress, blogging, dealing with audiovisual tracks and graphics, as well as logo design developed. I couldn't get enough. I love the creative process. Now, all this time I was holding down a full-time 40 to 60 hour per week job. And for about 9 of those years, I was also a bivocational pastor. Over the years, I've never really found fulfillment in the work that I did by day. These jobs were all over the map, from prep cook to waiter, leather tanner, color matcher, insurance sales, plumbing, heating supply, counter sales, and outside sales, factory work, fire protection, and yes, even McDonald's. Never fulfilled or challenged. My 6th defining moment. I knew that marketing online and tapping into the power and potential of the internet was where I most definitely wanted to be. I knew also that it is a rare person who makes that leap. There's a great deal to learn along the way. So when someone introduced me to MLSP, a switch once again went off. MLSP is a long-standing platform on the internet with outstanding leadership and resources. So I decided to dive in headlong, and I became fully immersed in their training and their culture. This gave me the confidence to know that I could have a track to run on. From there, I created my brand of David Anderson Now, Networking Online Watchman. It's my job and my pleasure to be on the lookout for ways to help other people grow their business online. Within a week or so later, I stumbled onto Marc M. LaLonde in one of the older trainings within MLSP. I reached out to him and we quickly connected. He was just about to launch his personal branding platform. I quickly engaged with his training and could easily see that what he had to offer was genius on many levels and was going to change the online marketing and personal branding world. I did not hesitate to become a founding platinum partner with him, and I was with him live as he officially launched Branding University. I'm passionate about changing the world with love and light. By playing a strong and supportive role in helping others become all that they can be through personal branding, I'm leveraging my personal impact in this world. So through my resources found at www.davidandersonnow.com, many people have access to free, regularly updated, cutting-edge training resources and guidance. These will help them to become the faces and names of leaders within whatever niche they wish to pursue. We're working with people in every field imaginable, both online and offline. Whatever your passion of choice, niche, or career, people will engage with and buy from you only if they know, like, and trust you. Promoting and selling yourself through personal branding instead of your product or service will separate you from the millions of others that are selling that same widget. So I invite you once again to learn more about personal branding and how to be a leader in your niche by enjoying outstanding training and resources within my blog. Once again, that's www.davidandersonnow.com. So thank you for hanging out with me. It's been wonderful. See ya.
Energy pulsing, pulsing through. Energy pulsing through. Energy pulsing, pulsing through. Energy pulsing through me. Energy pulsing, pulsing through. Energy pulsing through me. Energy pulsing, pulsing through.